the Exchange Talkback Radio Show. Join in on informational, motivational, and controversial topics. It's all about the exchange. Here's your host, your girl Stormy on the mic, and co-host Eddie Up.
All the way up.
What's up 2019? How you doing? It is an awesome blessing to be here. Good evening, you guys. I'm Stormy on the mic, and we have made it a year with the Exchange Talk Show. And I just wanted to give a shout out to our followers and say thank you for walking through this dream of ours for a year. We are licensed by ASCAP, so please don't take our music down. Okay, Compton Exchange Talk Radio is your urban connection, and I'm your host, Stormy on the mic. But guess what? This ain't my homeboy, Eddie Up. This is D Wills, y'all. We're going to give a shout out to Mr. Eddie Up. Mr. Eddie Up could not make it tonight on our first show in 2019. Actually, Eddie's father had to be taken to the hospital, so we're sending out prayers and blessings for him, okay? So now it's just a blessing to be able to have somebody to be able to come in and say, you know, I got you. So this is Mr. D Wills. So we thank God for God putting somebody else in place for Eddie. So D Wills, what I want you to do is tell us a little bit about our show tonight.
Good evening, you guys. It's a pleasure to be here. This show is inspired, inspirational, informative, and controversial. Okay, we bring every Thursday from 6:30 to 8 o'clock a show we feel represents our community. And if you want to do a call in, give us a call at 310-946-3110.
Again, that number would be 310.
946-3110.
3110.
That's what's up.
All right. D Wills, you know what? It's a blessing to have you here. So what I want you to do is give our fans and our followers, you know, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're doing.
Thank you very much. First of all, I'd just like to give a shout out to Felicia here, who I know as Pook the Truth. Pook is the truth about what she do. I thank her. We go back like rocking chairs. We went to Compton Senior High together. I now currently am her barber. What I do is I cut her hair and we sit back and behind the chair and we talk about different things. And I've been behind the chair about 30 years plus in my life. And so I get an opportunity to really tune in and get a real focus on how we think and how we process things as black people in our community. So I want you to be looking up down the road for a podcast that I'm going to bring out called D Will Keep It Real Podcast Radio, where we focus on hope and unity in the urban community. Also, if you got time this month, I'm doing a play. I want to give a shout out to Doug Thomas, director, producer, Erica Williams, associate producer. We have a play coming up called The Resurrection Remix. It's a New Vision stage production, and it's at the James Armstrong Theater in Torrance, 3330 Civic Center Drive, Torrance, California. Be there.
All right. It looked like you got your hands full for 2019, right?
Oh, absolutely. You know, I believe that you should express and do the best you can in everything that you do and be the best. Live your best life, because you only got one.
And this is true. You know what? I'm glad that you said that. You know, 2019, you guys, the thing about it is everybody didn't cross over. You know what I'm saying? So if you cross over to 2019, shout out to you, because God had your back. And sometimes he takes others home, and because it's time to go home, and I appreciate him for that. But the thing about what you just said is you only have one life, and you have to live your best life, but also love the people around you. You know what I'm saying? That's so important, because we always feel like, you know, it's not going to be our time, or it's not going to be their time. But you just never know that time that you wake up that morning and you get that phone call saying, you know what, somebody didn't wake up or somebody didn't make it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a blessing. You know, we can give a shout out to Jesus and let him know, I'm glad that I crossed over.
Whoop, whoop.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you know, the Lord of my life I wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for him. And he's first in everything that I do. Seek first the kingdom of Jesus and his righteousness, and all those things will be added on to you.
Preach.
Am I right about it?
All
Come
right,
on now.
All right, he preaching tonight, y'all, so I guess I don't have to, because he got that part covered. Okay, I got somebody that can keep up with me, but we about to see tonight. Anyway, you know, our show is talking about surviving Trump and R. Kelly. So what I want you guys to do is get your questions ready, because that ain't that crazy. In 2019, we have to talk about surviving Trump and R. Kelly. You know, I know everybody watched that documentary. So a little bit later down the road on our show, I want you guys to call in and we're going to talk about R. Kelly. I want you to call in. We're going to talk about Trump. Tell us how you feel about Trump and closing down the government, how you think it's affecting us. Do you like Trump? Do you not like Trump? Do you not even care? But before we do that, Before we do that, we got to go into our Stay Woke segment. You know, it's nothing like staying woke. All right. Thank you. Look. My Stay Woke is on about, I don't know if you guys know about the young lady Jasmine Barnes. Jasmine Barnes was the young lady in Texas that was shot and killed while driving in the car with her mom. Her mom was actually injured as well, and she had, I think, about 3 other sisters in the back seat. And they were actually still in their pajamas on their way to the store to go get some breakfast food, okay? And a car drove up and shot in the car. Okay, and basically what was said in the beginning was that a white guy did it, okay, in a burgundy truck, you know, and I mean, man, that just, my heart just gripped my heart when I heard about this story, because, you know, I was just like, man, they doing it like that. And, you know, the first thing people saying, you know, Trump got these white folks tripping. You know, they done got a whole bunch of heart. You know how people start saying, you know, and it looking like it might be like a hate crime, right? So everybody is up in arms. You know, everybody, you know, looking for the white man in the truck and what happened. And everybody's just like straight tripping. And they got the mother in the hospital. And from her hospital bed, she's pleading out. She's crying, you know, about to get this man, right? And so basically what happened was the children were the ones that actually ID'd the guy. And what it looks like was after they were shot, there was a burgundy truck driving by. And I guess it was a white guy, Caucasian guy driving the truck. But what happened was it was actually African-American young men in the ages of like around 24 that shot this woman and her children up in their car. And what they say, it was mistaken identity. But what kills me is, why are we killing each other? You know, what's going on, D-Bills, with that? You know,
Felicia, I'm glad you asked. You know, my take on it is, you know, your community is only as good as your men in the community. And I'm talking to the men today just briefly. I'm saying, men, we still can set an example in our community. You know, we still have an influence. And the only way we're going to set an example in our community is we make ourselves more present. I'm looking more today, and it seems as though we're deferring to everything that we should be standing tall in. Now, in terms of the Stay Woke, I'm going to tell you, we have to be visionaries and we have to have purpose. I just watched this movie called Bird Box. I'm gonna go to the left for a second. And I noticed it was kind of like a demonized movie about people blindfolding themselves. And, you know, I don't want to tell you the whole thing about the movie, but what I seen afterwards on the media was people was blindfolding themselves, trying to see if they can walk and get around blindfolded. Well, I'm here to tell you, friends, we already blindfolded. We already walking around sleep because we allowing everything to occur in our community that shouldn't be happening. And then we want to always cause an issue when it has something to do with a race or creed outside of us. But we got to start loving more on each other.
So what's happening with these young men? Okay, first of all, we got young men, 24 years old, black, doing drive-bys. So it's either gang-related. 9 times out of 10 is gang-related, okay? And, you know, the thing about the gang thing is, but I don't understand, it doesn't afford you to have a 401k. It doesn't afford you any money. It doesn't pay you. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's a job, you know, and these people are really buying into it. So we got 2 young men that have bought into the gang affiliation that went by to do a drive-by, actually because it was a mistaken identity, I mean, it was somebody else, okay? And now they're standing, looking at capital murder. Okay, so now that means the chair. Okay, and we're talking about 24-year-old young men. And actually, the young man that was driving the car actually was pulled over and got stopped. And somehow this came out because, see, the thing about it, it weighed on him. It was heavy. You know, it was heavy on him. You done killed a young girl. You know, everybody just can't kill somebody and just go home and sleep. Okay, so obviously Absolutely. He couldn't sleep.
Absolutely.
Okay, so now we got 2 young men in their 20s facing capital punishment for a capital crime, a murder of a young girl, okay? And so I'm curious to find out where does it end? Where does it end? Because they was looking to take somebody's life.
Well, I'm glad you asked that, Felicia. The thing that I can say is it probably won't end until we begin to stand.
My name is Stormy, anyway, by the way.
Stormy, it won't end until we begin to stand. My apologies.
Just to get that straight.
I
don't know who Felicia is. Felicia is somebody else, but that ain't her right now.
Well, Stormy, I'm sorry.
All right, yes.
Again, it's not going to end, but it can actually have some level of infiltration if we just become more present in our community. We become watchful. We become like-minded, and we change our language.
Who is we?
We as African American people in the urban community.
Okay.
We have to stop. We have to be like-minded. We have to change our conversation, because a lot of times what we do is we hear about these things and we begin to normalize these things. Somebody gets shot, something may happen, some
true.
type of cruel crime may go on.
It's normal.
And we normalize that when we have to be more encouraging, and we have to be more upfront and transparent with each other about this ain't cool.
You know what? It hasn't been cool for a long time, but like when you go back to saying it's been normalized, I agree. It's what we do. It's how we get down. It's part of our culture. Okay? Gang banging is part of the culture. Drive-bys is part of the culture. That's part of being cool. That's all of that. But you're taking out your own, okay? We were not meant to take out our own. We was meant to stand together. But again, I believe that we've been blind. Our mind has been overtaken to believe that we as a race are not worthy.
Well, Stormy, that's a known fact. I mean, until we get an identity and recognize what our identity is.
When we recognize our true value.
Recognize our true value. Absolutely. Our true value, let's keep it real, it's in Christ. You have to accept Christ. You have to love on God, and you have to be nurtured by the word of God. Now, if God is present at all times in our lives, he's in our presence. So we need to build relationships with each other. Stop looking at each other, turning our backs when we see things, acting like we don't see it, situations and issues occur that we do. Let's even talk about the crime that you're talking about now. I mean, we don't really have the full facts on the situation, but it sounds like they were ready to accuse someone else instead of the actual perpetrator that actually did the crime.
Well, it wasn't about them accusing. What happened was the kids were actually identifying somebody, and that they identified the last person they saw that drove by after the incident. So that's basically what happened, because there is a film showing the burgundy car. So that's pretty much what happened on that. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Look, stay woke people. Look, we as a race, we have to believe in ourselves. We have to do better. We can't go out here killing anybody, let alone our own people. It makes no sense. We want to give a shout out to Shaq O'Neal, because he paid for the funeral expenses. He stepped up. I didn't know, but Shaq actually has been living in Houston for the last 20 years.
Sure.
Okay, all right, Shaq, we thank you for that. So he went on and he did his thing. And actually another Houston Texan wide receiver, DeAndre Hopkins, donated his game check from the last Saturday, and that check was approximately $29,000. So, good looking out. This was a horrible incident that took place. A child's life is gone, and a mother has to grieve her baby. So we want to say, stay woke on gangbanging, stay woke on taking anybody's life. We have to do better. And how we do that is, you're right, God first, okay? But the thing about it is, you have to realize these are millennials. This is a new culture. This culture is a different breed, okay? And how we were reached is not how they were reached. So we have to go out there and get them a different kind of way.
Absolutely.
And another kind of way is to get them with podcasts and different things. And,
Absolutely.
Churches are changing the way they get down, too. You know what I'm saying?
I would agree.
They're changing how they reach the young ones. You got your old saints and you got your new saints, but those millennial saints need a little bit different kind of hand. So you know what? Stay woke on being true to your community.
Absolutely. Ground level. See, if we operate in the situation from the ground level. Now, again, shout out to Shaq and the young man that played on the Houston Texans. But get your kids some life insurance, especially if you know that your kids are involved in some, and as adults, get some life insurance to protect yourself, so when situations occur like this, you'll be able to take care of it. And we have to start being able to take care of business from the ground up and enlighten each other on these type of things. So in the near future, instead of us looking for somebody from the top to come down and help us, we can work from the ground up and we'll grow faster, we'll go quicker, and we'll grow collectively.
All right. Let's keep this thing moving. Let's keep this train going. Guess what? What we want to do right now is, our number again is 310-946-3110. Look, you guys, we played Taboo the last time we was out here. We gave away a lot of gifts, you guys. And I appreciate everybody that tunes in, but nobody wants to call in. But look, I need you guys to participate today. I want you to call in and tell me what you're thinking, okay? One of the things we want to talk about is Orange Man. Y'all ready for the orange? Okay, Orange Man himself. Okay, he's out here doing his thing. But he playing hardball. I'm going to tell you, is he beast or boss? What you want to call him, beast or boss? Is he a beast or is he a boss? What do you think, DJ Ron? Is Orange Man a beast or is he a boss?
He's a beast.
Is he a beast or is he a boss, D. Wills?
He's a beast.
Okay.
/ idiot.
He's a beast. He done got called the idiot. But you know what? This is the thing. What he's not is a boss. Now, tell me this. Our last president, Barack Obama, was he a beast or was he a boss? DJ Ron. Beast or boss on Barack?
Boss.
Barack was a boss. What you think about D. Wills? What you think about Barack? Was he a beast or was he a boss?
He's a boss.
He's a boss. Okay, so we got two different presidents, right? We got one that's a beast and one that's a boss, right? Now, guess what? That beast and that boss could be the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Check it out. I want to be a beast and a boss. I want to be both collectively. You know what I'm saying? So I want to be good at what I do. So
Absolutely.
Beast and boss kind of goes together for me. The thing about Trump, what I want to know is, as African Americans, we know that we're supposed to go out to vote. We know that our ancestors paid the price for us to be able to vote. Okay.
Contrary, excuse me, I don't want. They did pay the price, but they paid the price for us to have the choice to vote. And I just suggest that you choose right and do so. Mm-hmm. But I think you should also have the choice to make that decision, because what happens is the political game is played so tricky. Sometimes it seems as though when you vote, it's not always, and maybe you can elaborate with me on that. Sometimes it seems like the vote doesn't matter.
Well, and maybe it does seem like the vote doesn't matter, but the bottom line is that's why when we get on shows like this and we kind of express to you, and so you get the understanding of where you should vote and why you should vote.
Absolutely.
We try to, teach you and give you some information. So informative, that's our informative part, to inform you on basically what's going on.
Absolutely.
And people might think that their vote doesn't count, but guess what? It does count, because you can tell you right now the Democrats are back. They're in the office, right? Okay, they're controlling something. We got something to fight with. So obviously it matter, because the last vote that we did, everybody pushed and got out there and voted. And now the Democrats are holding some power, right?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so
Absolutely.
That's a good thing about it. But what I want to know from I want somebody to call in and tell me, how do you feel about this thing with Trump? Does it even matter to you? Do you care? Do you feel like it affects you? I've got some requests to talk about Trump. We're going to talk about Trump. And I'm going to just be real, because I don't know any other kind of way to be. Half the time I don't want to watch his tail, because, I do think he's stupid. I think he got in office because they I don't think they really thought he was going to make it, but he did. Okay. And every time he's on television, it's about something that is wrong with how he did his campaign, or he's firing somebody, or he didn't like what they said, or they didn't do what he told them. It's just always drama. So 9 times out of 10, I usually turn when it comes to Trump, but it's obviously now he's closed down the government. Okay. 310-946-3110. Tell me, do you even care about Trump? Do you think it affects you? It's affecting some people. A lot of people are being affected by Trump playing a beast right now by not giving in, because the one thing I know that he is a liar. He said he was going to, didn't he say Mexico was going to build that wall?
Yes, he did, and in my opinion, the only reason why Donald Trump wants a wall built, he's so scared, y'all. He's just fearing that just think, we just spoke about Barack Obama, who is a boss, and what really justifies him as a boss is he stood with a lot of integrity and principle. And what is occurring right now in our present time is President Trump has a lot of things that are contrary to him being in office. A lot of scandals that are kind of being swept under the table about him. A lot of things that we see his idiocy on TV at times, where he gets in and comments and tweaks and do all these things that kind of bring on childish childishness and
Yeah.
and pouting. But
he's stupid.
you know, at the end of the day, I think his fear just governs from by Obama being president. And I just believe in this country, there's always been fear of a black president. But guess what? There's also fear of a Latino president. So I feel as though because they're high in numbers, that in my opinion, Trump is afraid
DJ
of
Ron
that.
is bored, so he hit music. So he wanted you to be quiet. So that's his way of saying, yes, you are. So he said, it's a little bored. Let me throw a little mix in here. Wake up, wake up, wake up. It's all right, DJ Ron.
I still want to say that I believe, if our Latinos get in office, that support will be strong.
Guess what? I don't believe Orange Man is scared. First of all, he is a Caucasian man that's been bossing around and filing Chapter 7 for years and decades. He's doing whatever he wants to do. He has a golf course, okay, that when he plays golf, that they paying millions for him to go down there. He's making his money. What he is he knows how to work the doggone system. He's a pimp.
Absolutely.
He's a major kind of pimp in a major kind of way. My thing is, if you go big or go home. And one thing for sure is this fool is going big.
But
okay?
votes count, though.
Yeah, votes count, but guess what? He's in there now. Now, he might not make it to the other 4 years, but guess what? He pressing on. What he hasn't been, what they didn't do, they didn't get to go in and impeach him, okay? So, obviously, he's not impeachable because nobody's done it. You got stuff on TV talking about impeaching him, okay? But nobody's made that move, okay? So, now it's like we got this major fight. It's a fight. Remember that song that said an N and a white? The whites can't fight because then the N's all right. So, now we got the Democrats and the Republicans going back and forth, okay?
Absolutely.
But, again, how is it affecting us? Give us a little something about how it's affecting us, D. Wills.
Well, one of the things that's affecting us on is 38 million low-income Americans lost food stamps.
They may be losing food stamps. Now, if you got an EBT card and you're not going to get your stamps and you can't feed your kids, that's a problem. If you got an EBT card and you usually sell half of it for some cash and you're not going to get that cash either. You know what I'm saying? You know how we get down. You got EBT card to give you $1,000 and you say, I give you $500 for $250. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to be missing out on getting them stamps, right? So that's what a raise, right? And I know I'm joking, but I'm keeping it 100. We know how people get down on them EBT cards.
Absolutely.
So that means seriously, and those
Go
are
to the fish market and get you some fish. Go get you a little soul food. When you see the sign up, sometimes people respond to it.
We need Trump to get it together so people can get that EBT, that situation together with their food. Okay. Then guess what? It's income tax season.
Absolutely.
And the ones that be out there talking about their hairdressers and talking about they did this and did that. They don't even work and be getting $4,000, $5,000 back, file them taxes. They're gonna be the first ones in line mad because they're not gonna be able to get their income tax early. And those of us that actually went to a job and had to work and paid a whole bunch of tax, they get it back.
Focusing on getting that used car, getting in that apartment or something like that. That's what happens when you get that income tax.
Folks, they can't buy no furniture. They can't get them. Usually you get a man at the beginning of the year, because you got to get big income tax coming in. Men usually like to make that woman a woman right about that time, especially if you get a big hefty income tax.
Wow,
at the
watch out now. Look at you,
I'm
girl.
trying to tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? We got these pimps and players out there, so they be like, she got to get income tax check. I'm gonna be with her until March.
Until the papers go.
So, yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. Ain't that something else?
Yeah, we got to do better, y'all.
We got a phone call. All right. All right, caller, how you doing? Hello? We got it. Hold on just a minute. Hopefully it's going to come through. We good? Go ahead.
Hello?
Hey, we're going to try to mic you up a little bit.
You guys hear me?
A little bit. We are logged in right here. Is that on? Is the speaker on right here? Is this one on?
Yeah.
Go ahead, caller. I can hear you. Can you speak up a little bit? You got babies? I hear your babies. Hello? You still there?
Maybe he built both headphones, Chris.
Hey, MJ. They hung up. Okay. All right. They'll be calling back. We got somebody calling in. And this is what I need you guys to do. Tune in. Look, 310-946-3110. Again, that number is 310-946-3110. Come on and talk to us, people. Look, we're going to get to R. Kelly. I know everybody ready to get down to R. Kelly, but let's talk about the orange man for a minute.
How about 2 million people without rental assistance and facing public
All right.
eviction?
Come on, caller. Go ahead. Nope.
Yeah, talk up.
It's real dead. Hello?
Talk up or change your headset.
No, it's real dead. It's his phone.
Hello.
There you go. You know, DJ always, when he touches something, then it works. Over there shaking his head.
Can you guys hear me now?
We can hear you now. I know it was DJ Ron. Gotta blame it on something. It's always DJ. As soon as he tap it, be like, okay, it's a short net. What's up?
Nothing. Hey guys, I just wanted to call in and comment on.
You just went low again.
Are you asking, is he talking to the headset?
Are you talking on a headset?
I am not. I took my headset out. I'm talking right on the phone.
It's that. Do it again. Yeah. Go ahead. Say again. Hello? It's a
So
short.
far about Trump.
Yeah, it's a shortage in that. Yeah. Go ahead. What do you say about Trump?
I just wanted to comment on your guys' topic. Is your co-host, is it Ron or
No, it's D Wills.
D. Will.
D. Wills? Okay,
Yes, sir.
So I just wanted to touch on a little bit of what D. Wills was saying about the community in general. The black community, one, we have to educate ourselves. You know what I mean? If we're incorporating the Bible and God into it, it says our people will perish for lack of knowledge.
Amen.
Okay.
And so I believe there is a tremendous shortage of knowledge within the black community, especially when it comes to politics and everything and beyond. There is no reason why 95% of the black community should be Democrats. It's 95% blind vote. They get our vote, essentially without any questions asked. It's whoever the candidate is, it's like we're going to essentially back them no matter what their policies are or what they stand for. And when you go back and look into the history of the things, when black people were doing the most prosperous is when we were actually aligned with the Republican Party. The Republican Party was the one who actually freed the slaves. They were the free thinking movement. They were the ones who actually believed in putting black people in power. And it wasn't until the 50s and 60s with the civil rights movement that we actually realigned ourselves with the Democratic Party, because John F. Kennedy went and got Martin Luther King and Malcolm X out of jail during the civil rights movement, and the Republicans were they weren't as strong with the black community. They weren't really backing us during the civil rights movement, and that's honestly where everything switched. The Democrats came into power. The black community basically gave blind allegiance to the Democratic Party, and the rest is history. When you look at all the Section 8 and the government assistance in the black community, all that are bills and programs that were created by the Democratic Party.
Okay.
And so it's really unfair. Like, to change the community, we should really make the white community work for our vote, because it's been proven time and time again that the people who control the black vote are the people who are typically winning these elections and swinging these things. And if you look in southern states and all these things, there's been issues over what's called gerrymandering, where they draw the voting lines in such a weird way as to skew the black vote, so that if you're in this particular district, like, you could be separated by a street, and then now you're considered in another district, and now your collective vote doesn't count. And that's because the black vote is so powerful that now they're trying to draw these voting lines to nullify our vote.
All right, brother. I mean, you're very educated on what you're talking about, so I take it that you're not a Democrat.
No, I'm independent.
Okay.
What is your question?
So should I be independent as well?
I believe every black person should be independent. I believe black people should actually start their own political party called the Black Party. And again, we should make the Democrats and the Republicans earn our vote by implementing policies and programs that directly benefit us, that benefit our community. If you want our vote, you should benefit and help our community, put our people into power. That's how it should be. We shouldn't just be pledging blind allegiance to the Democratic Party just because that's the way it's been.
Okay, so why don't you sound like you need to be a politician?
What is your name, young man, again? What's your
My
name?
name is Christopher Crumby.
That's right. That's my
Christopher
seed,
Crumby.
baby. That's my seed.
I applaud you 200%, brother.
Yes.
That is outstanding information as well. I support that 100%. There should be, we should be in a place where we allow other races and creeds to support us in order to get our votes. I'm with that. That makes all the sense in the world to me.
Okay, you know what? That was you just dropped a lot of knowledge, and for everybody out there watching, I'm sure that was very good information for them. So I guess I better go ahead and get independent. My son told me I need to go ahead and change to being independent. I'm following behind him. This is our future attorney. This is
Tell
the
me,
future
was
district.
that your son?
That is my son, baby.
Look out,
Look,
boy.
look, don't look. I'm trying to tell you. Trying
Look
to tell
out,
you. That's what I
baby.
said. That's my seed.
That's what's up.
That's my
And
seed.
we got to pay attention. You got to pay attention to your local government. That's the people who are directly making change for you. Those are the people in the city council, the mayor. Those local people are the ones who are inevitably, like, directly affecting what the tax rate is, like those type of things. Like, but people think it's just Trump. Like, yes, that it makes sense on like a national level, but here in Southern California, in Compton, in LA, like Trump isn't like, he has policies that may affect it, but he doesn't have his hand directly in that pot. The states operate with a certain amount of autonomy from the federal government. So it's important to pay attention to our local government, put those people who actually speak for us. Because when you're looking at the city council of Compton, it's like, why is the entire city council composed of mainly older white people who do not live in the community whatsoever?
Compton City Council is not. It's not. City, okay, let me correct you on that. The city council is not made up of any white people. I don't even think it's not one white person on the city council of Compton. Actually, it's black and Hispanic, and you know they do have some open seats in District 4. And I actually live in District 4. I was thinking about maybe I should run for the city council in Compton. What y'all think? Well, y'all support Stormy.
Come on with it, man.
Because the interest rate, our the rate out here is 10%. 10%. You know, the taxes for the houses is extremely high. It's sad. It's sad, but you know, I don't think I'm ready for a seat yet. But guess what? Don't sleep on me because you just never know.
Never know.
It has crossed my mind to sit down and consult with my son, attorney Christopher Crumby. But anyway, son, I appreciate. I'm serious. You already know how we roll. I appreciate you and enlightening us on that information. That was some very good information, and I guess I'll be changing to independent because my son is independent. I'm gonna follow behind that educated boy right there because he got plenty of schooling behind him. That's our future Riverside District Attorney Christopher Crumby. That is okay. Thank you, son, for calling in. We appreciate you for giving us that information, and we're gonna stay woke on that.
Absolutely, stay woke, y'all.
Stay woke, y'all.
Stay woke.
All right. Thank you. Again, that number is 310-946-3110. If anybody else wants to chime in on Trump, we give you about 2 more minutes, and then we're going to go on and talk about surviving R. Kelly, because I know y'all ready for that, because that right there is that beast our boss. Again.
The Pied Piper R&B.
You know, the beast our boss. So again, what we're going to tell you is basically, you know, you might lose your food stamps, and if you have Section 8, your rent might not get paid. This real talk. Your rent won't get paid because they shut the government down. If you are on Section 8, your rent might not get paid. Again, we got a call. Thank you, caller. Go ahead.
Hey, what's up?
What's up?
How y'all doing?
Hey, Eddie.
What's going on? You guys look good over there. You know your son is a beast.
Beast and boss, baby. Beast and boss. He gets to be a BB. He's a BB, right? Beast and boss.
I know that was him talking. That's why I can sit there and listen to him.
We miss you, baby. We miss you. You know,
I miss you guys too. Dad, you're doing a good job over there.
Hey, thank you very much, man.
Keep that seat out for you, baby.
We're in prayer for your father, man. 200%, man. And thanks just for allowing me to slide in your behalf, man. But come back real soon, brother. Get back
thanks,
as soon
man.
as
I
possible.
appreciate it, man.
Yes,
you guys just keep it up, man. You guys, you know, it's just good to see it. You know, when I can't see it, I can see it now. You know.
Absolutely.
So, baby, what you got to say about Trump? Look, you know Eddie Up. What's up, Eddie Up? My
Eddie
dude,
up.
Eddie
What's up?
Up.
What's up?
What's up, baby? So, how you feeling about Trump? How you feeling about Orange Man? Is he beast or a boss, baby? Beast or boss?
See that man? You know what? You know, it's like your son said. If we can educate ourselves more on politics and the situation, we can have more to say.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and a lot of people that's talking about him and hating on him are the same people that voted for him.
Okay.
You know, and so we got to start just realizing it and checking out different issues before we vote.
Because a lot of times, baby, we just vote based on race.
Most of these politicians, they tell you what they're going to do before they get there. When they get there, it's totally different.
Okay.
Just like he said, he's going to have Mexico pay for the border. I mean, build those walls.
Right, right.
Now he's killing the federal and the government employees because he can't get the money he wants to build that wall.
Right, right, right.
And so I just think that, you know, we just need to, when re-election time comes, we just need to be smart. That's what we need.
Okay, so Eddie, so what do you think about, the Democrats and the Republicans? Now, Trump basically said, look, I'll keep it shut down for some years, okay? He going for blood, okay? So this Trump is really going for blood, okay? So now the Democrats is holding on. So nobody is coming to a resolution as far as what we're going to do. Okay, and it's really it's gonna start really affecting people. Now these people can't keep working and not getting paid, you know. So I'm trying to figure out, you know, there has to be some type of compromise, you know. But the Democrats is holding out because Trump is, like you said, that they were gonna build the wall. But I think the Democrats had a plan where they're gonna give them a certain amount for something, but they was not gonna give him that 5.83 million or whatever billion that he's asking for.
They offered him, I think, 1.8 billion, but he wants 5. 1.8 is not enough for him. So if it ain't what he wants, then he's not going to go for it. And he's talking about the federal and the government employees are talking about it's okay, just build that wall. But, you know, my son works for the federal now. You know what I'm saying? And he ain't getting paid. And that's hard on these employees that's not getting paid. They're working and not getting paid. Yeah, they probably going to get retro pay after it's all said and done. But damn, what they got to do in the meantime?
He also said, okay, so look, disaster relief money doesn't get to storm-ravaged areas. So that's another thing that's going to take place. So, you know, all those burn houses and all the things that took place up north, they will not have, what is it, FEMA? There's not going to be any money for FEMA. It won't be any money for FEMA.
Because he's holding it up.
Okay, and you know the stock market plummeted, but then again, the stock market went up. You know what I'm saying? But right now, it's not a good time to make any major purchases. You better try to keep your little money in your pocket, you know. But okay, we're going to stay woke on Trump. Brother, look, I guess you'll be back again. You'll be back next week. Thanks for calling in. We appreciate you.
I love you guys.
We love you too,
care.
baby.
Eddie.
But you know you got to key in on that.
Stay woke, baby.
R. Kelly.
Stay woke.
All right.
Hey.
What?
Tell DJ Ron and where's our boss at? She there?
DJ Ron, you know he sit right here. You know.
No, is the boss there? Is the boss lady there?
Is the what?
Our boss lady.
Boss lady is here, and the other boss lady is here. You know, Mila is up in the house, baby. She back with us, Eddie. Yep. Look, you know what's.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. Mila's in the house. And look, it's our year. You know we making a year, right?
Huh?
It's our year. That's why I
know it. Oh, definitely.
Yeah. But you be back. Yes, we're making a year doing the Exchange Talk Show. So we got good things coming on the horizon for 2019. DJ Ron is sitting in the house. Boss Lady's in the house. And Mila, the second boss lady, is in the house as well. We got a full house, baby. And we got to get D-Will sitting in the seat.
And you got Derek sitting in the seat.
And we got D-Will sitting in the seat. Look, I couldn't carry all this by myself. That's too much doggone talking. Too much talking for 2 hours. That's right.
Well, y'all keep it up. I'm gonna be watching, and you know, hey, do what you do.
Okay, baby. All right. Love you too.
Love you as well.
All right. Look, DJ, you know what I want to do? You know, ain't nothing wrong with a little bump and grind. I got another call. All right, we got another call, and then we're gonna move on to bumping and grinding with R. Kelly. Hey, caller.
Hello?
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
That sound like I know that voice too. I'm good. How you? Happy New Year.
You probably know my voice. Happy New Year to you too.
All right, all right. This is our other intellectual that calls in with all the knowledge. I know that voice. How we talking about you about to dump on Trump, or we gonna move on to R. Kelly? What's happening with you?
Shoot, I'm cut from all kinds of cloths, so I'm a jack of all trades. So whatever you want to do.
Okay.
We can start with Trump and end it with Trump.
But go ahead. How you feeling about Trump right about now? You feel like you're gonna be affected by the situation?
Do I feel like what?
You think, or do you feel like you're affected by him closing down the government?
No, me myself, I don't think black people are necessarily affected, but they need to actually watch what's going on because it's all relative, and we'll be the next one on the docket for him. He has turned this into a racial situation, but that's what he's ran on the whole time. He just used economics as a camouflage. When people voted for him, his base, so to speak, they understood the code words that he was talking about when he was talking about making America great. And that's what he's doing right now. He's trying to make America great, but make America great, and he's going back into those slavery times.
Okay.
That's what he's actually talking about.
Okay.
And people definitely need to stay woke and watch his body language, his verbiage, and his symbols and signs. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So he went on TV today. I'm just catching up with you guys today. You might have spoke on it. He said he never said the Mexicans were going to pay for the wall. That's what he said today.
He's a major liar.
So he will sit up there and lie with no shame and no regard.
None.
And
but the devil never has any regard anyway.
Morals, but
right.
At the same time, he's speaking the language that these people want to hear. Privileged America, who don't want to lose their status, and they go for anything he says, knowing that it's a bunch of BS.
Okay. Okay.
So, we definitely need to stay aware of everything that's going on in regards to this wall because this is just the beginning. If we let that be that, but he has $1.8 million that was already allocated to this wall, and he's still trying to get other money. Ain't even used that money yet. Yeah. So.
But he's also added, since he's been in office, to this $1 trillion deficit that we have. It's not like we have all this major money. We're already in a deficit.
Well, we're in a deficit, and it's kind of mind-boggling to take in consideration that we owe China trillions of dollars. Right. But we talking about sanctions. I wish somebody would have my money talking about they're gonna hold something over me. That's a crazy game right there. But I mean, there's a whole lot of other things that this entails, and it goes beyond just politics. It's New World Order. He and Putin, all of them are part of this New World Order, and they're trying to make a one world government, and they're about to establish it if we ain't careful, because they were talking about how Trump's cabinet is actually trying to take the sanctions off of one of Putin's best friends in Russia. They were just talking about that right now. So he definitely got Russian ties, but everybody's acting like they don't know no better. And to me, the Democrats are punks because they don't get at them the way they're supposed to get at them.
Say that.
Okay.
So.
Well, like my son said, we might need to do some independence and get our own signage. Independent.
I'm sorry.
I said. Christopher was just on the phone before you, and he was talking about the Democrats, and he was also talking about blacks forming their own party. Basically, he's an independent, so he was just like, they need to work for our votes, which they don't work for our votes. He said we need to form our own party. At some point in time in this lifetime, we need to join together.
Absolutely.
We better together than we are apart.
Absolutely. Explosive.
There's no doubt, but the thing about when you speak of us, I'm assuming you're talking about black people.
Absolutely. Yes, I am.
We have to start forming a constituency. We have to have lobbyists. We got to have money. We got to start having a voice. We don't have a voice, and we don't ask for anything, but we expect everything.
Absolutely.
So when we put Obama in office, we didn't ask him for anything. Not one thing. The Hispanics got the Dream Act, the Dreamers or whatever. I don't want to say the wrong word, but the gay people got they got to get married or whatever. Everybody got something and asked for everything. The only thing that we got was civil rights, but civil mean everybody. We didn't ask for anything specific. So when you don't ask for anything specifically, you ain't gonna get nothing.
We should have asked for our 40 acres and a mule.
You know what I mean? So until we start putting lobbyists together and financial backing in regards to those lobbyists, we can't ask for nothing. But that's pulling resources and pulling money. So you have voting power. We don't have any voting power right now.
Okay, people, I heard you. I hope you guys hear this, and I hope you understand it. And a lot of times when you don't get involved and when you don't, do your research. A lot of this stuff can go over your head, but these people are giving out some really good information, some real good information, some things that we have to think about. And it's time to come together as a people. It really, really is. It's time to come together as a people. Well, you know what? I thank you for calling, and hopefully you'll call back. But we're going to move on to our next subject, which is about R. Kelly. And so before we take any calls, we're going to do a little short run on some bump and grind. Because ain't nobody trying to play his music, but DJ, I want you to play that little fool's music one more time. Because this is the last time we're going to play anything for you, R. Kelly. we got to flush his ass, for real. I'm serious. I'm a hater. I'm going to let y'all know. I'm straight hating on R. Kelly. I'm going to say what I got to say. Y'all can call in and say what you want to say. But I'm straight hating on him. Straight hanging. We just flushed Joe's ass. That's how we feel about you. That's what we think about you, straight up. I don't care that you've been raped. I don't care that you went through what you went through. Won't be stepping no more.
Whoa.
That's enough. There you go. Okay. It'll never get played again on the Exchange Talk Radio Show. That's for sure. Okay, absolutely. You guys listen. Thank you.
Flush
Thank
it
you.
down.
Down the toilet. There you go. All right. Hey caller, how you doing?
I'm good, and you?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for calling in. You calling in about we on R. Kelly.
And that's what I want to be on too.
Okay, well that's right. So how you feeling about R. Kelly? You R. Kelly fan? Are you an R. Kelly fan?
Yeah, I'm an R. Kelly fan.
Okay. So, what's your opinion on the situation?
Okay, my opinion on the situation. How you doing, Felicia? You're doing a great job on here.
Thank you so much. How you doing? I don't know who I'm speaking to, but thank you.
This is Mylan Sylvester.
Hey, girl. That's my girl. Hey, Mylan. How you doing, girl? Good to hear your voice.
My thing is with this whole situation is that I truly believe that I'm not saying that R. Kelly's right. I truly believe that he's wrong. I have a daughter that's in the industry, and she's 21 years old. And I sit and take her to her auditions. So what I don't understand is that to sit here and... Hello?
I'm listening. Go ahead.
To sit here and to me where I feel like at this point, if R. Kelly needs to get arrested, I believe these parents need to get arrested. Because in my book is, why would you sit there after you heard so much about him being a pervert? Why would you send your 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old daughter, leave them in this situation? So to me, as far as I'm concerned as a parent, I don't think you should ever leave your kid there like that. I don't care if it's a girl, a boy, or whatever. Everybody's saying, "Oh, you guys are, you guys are taking it on the parents." Yeah, I'm taking it on the parents, not on R. Kelly too. He's wrong too. He needs some help.
So, do you think that basically what happened is that
I feel R. Kelly, I feel his staff, and I feel the parents. All y'all need to go get together because you know what? Everybody is sitting and saying, "Well, I didn't know this, I didn't know that." Let's start from even like. With this series, what I don't like, number one, I don't think they should have brought Aaliyah in this, even though she's part of the situation.
Okay, wait. Let me stop you right there, Mylan. Let me stop you right there. They had to bring Aaliyah in because basically what that shows you that he was 27 years old, she was 15 years old, but he was a pedophile way before that, and the fact that he impregnated her and married her. Now on the document. What they were showing basically showed that one of the girls said they were on the bus and the door flew open. He was in there having sex with her. Okay, so now everybody knows, and it blew their mind. She gets pregnant, and then, like you said, his road manager sets it up, and then they lie and say this girl is 18 years old so that it can be okay. So you're right. He has all these people backing him up in his nastiness, in his doubleness, and whatever you want to call it, and everybody perpetrated a fraud, and everybody backed his butt up because at the end of the day, we act like desperate ass people because of money. Money is the root of all evil, and money is the whole reason. Because if he was a broke ass, wouldn't nobody his ass to be in the jail. But since he had money,
and like I wrote a whole paragraph about this because you know what? From Aaliyah to Sparkle, to his wife. Me as a woman, I have 5 kids, and I'm a single parent. And for you to get pregnant by a man that you said that locked you up in the bathroom, pregnant with no clothes on, all night. Then when he finally released you and let you out, he made you sleep on the floor again another night with any clothes on, anything. Me as a black woman, listen, when he left, I would leave. If I was scared, that's how they keep everybody saying that they're scared. But if I was scared, I would call the police and say, hey, look, I'm trying to get out this house. Can you come in front? I'm going to go out. This situation. You understand what I'm saying? I tell my kids, let me tell you something. I have 3 girls and 2 boys. I even tell I only have one son with her, his fiance. I tell her the same thing about my son. If my son's being disrespectful to you, you don't need to deal with him. I tell every man that my daughters have dealt with, everyone that they have dealt with, mentally abuse is nothing I can do. Physical abuse, you put your hands on one of them, don't ever let me find out.
But see, Miley, what happens is, sweetie, it starts from the mental. It was mental abuse. See, he started off mentally. When he got your mind, then he can get you physically. Once you get the mind, everything else follows. So that's what it is. And then you have a lot of weak mind.
But there, listen to this. Please.
Go ahead.
You got Sparkle. You got Sparkle here. You brought your niece in there. When you knew this man was a pedophile. You get what I'm saying? You brought your niece there. You knew he was a pedophile, but you brought him in there. You brought her in there anyway. And what happened? The same thing happened. You brought your own niece in there. Now you're sitting up here saying, in one sense, she said that wasn't her niece on TV when 1580K was out. She got on the radio and said that wasn't her niece. Then after R. Kelly had released her off his record thing, then she went back and said, oh, that is her niece.
Okay, so let me tell people what you're talking about. The niece that she's talking about with Sparkle is the young lady that R. Kelly was videotaped with, that was 14 years old, that he actually urinated on. Okay, so this is who she's talking about. Okay, again, with this whole thing, I think money plays a part. But one of the things we need to figure out is, okay, so many people were involved. So many people. And I feel like all those people should be held accountable. So what we're going to do, Martin, thank you for calling. We're going to have to take another call. But thank you for calling because we want to... I appreciate you so much.
And hit some other areas, too, that we need to hit, too.
Hit some other areas what?
I said hit some other areas that we need to hit, too. Okay?
Okay.
I mean, you know, as you like... you're hitting on Trump and you're hitting on this and you're hitting on that. And I mean, you know, some other areas that you're hitting on. And I like what you're doing. I like this flow period. I want it to get bigger for you.
Okay. And you know what? And I appreciate the support. I'm serious. If I don't have you guys, then we can't do this thing. So I appreciate you. You never came and got your gift either, but I got you, girl.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, sweetie. Talk to you soon. All right. You too. All right. Thanks. Bye-bye. All right. So that's a mother of 5. She has 5 kids. Okay. She has 3 daughters and she has a beautiful daughter in the industry. She's right. She has one daughter I know that is a makeup artist, and she also has a daughter that's a dancer, and she is an awesome dancer. I'm assuming a backup dancer for all these different types of groups. So she's in the industry seriously. The thing about this thing is, once you get somebody mentally, the physical automatically comes. You know what I'm saying? Because I can abuse you mentally, and everybody, I feel like, I'm going to say everybody, because it didn't just happen to young girls. It happened to women. He was with a 30-year-old woman that bowed down, that left her job, that moved to Chicago. They just doing some dumb stuff because it's R. Kelly. They made R. Kelly a god. Did they not make R. Kelly a god, D. Wills?
I have to say we collectively make people with popularity gods.
Yeah, I don't
that's not something that I do. When I say we, I'm talking about the majority, because the majority of people, like I say, where we old school people, where we come up from, it's no way that I'm going to allow my daughter, my sister, my auntie, my mother, anybody to become victimized by a predator. And a lot of times, when someone has popularity, when someone has a lot of money, when someone just has access to making it seem like they can allow you to have a better life or something more fortunate that you may not have, we got to get past that.
Okay, listen to what you just said. You said you named all these people in your family, and there's no way but you would allow them to be victimized by a predator. Let me tell you, a lot of times the predator is right in your family.
Absolutely.
90% of the time, the predator is right inside your family.
I would agree.
Now, one of the things they did show, or what they said was, R. Kelly was molested and his brother was molested too. So he was molested. There was a predator in his family. He said it was a family member. Okay, so it started from there. Okay, so we don't get to actually we ain't no major blockers. Okay, and I'm just saying this because I worked in the field before where I learned about pedophiles and molestation and stuff, and a lot of that stuff came from inside the home.
Absolutely.
Okay,
I would
so
agree.
we don't get to just say, oh, I ain't no way I'm gonna let this happen. A lot of people have been molested and haven't spoke on it. A lot of people have gone through some stuff and just kept that into themselves. A lot of people have been molested by the babysitter, the auntie, the uncle, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I concur with you. So tell me something, DJ Ron, from another man's perspective. Just click in on this. Okay. Click in on this. This thing goes deeper. I feel like R. Kelly was molested, okay? And then I feel like he did the molesting. And then I feel like all the other people that were around him were molesters and pedophiles as well. What do you think about it as a man?
Well, I'm going to piggyback off of what she said. I think all of them
are accountable.
All accountable, exactly. We need to hold everybody accountable. I did a show Tuesday night, and we talked about this also. And one of the things that bothered me on all this is that we saw the tape. I don't know if you saw the tape, but I saw the tape back then. And we making it a big deal now, but back then we saw the tape and no one said anything then.
Absolutely.
Why is it so big now?
Right.
The brother just needs help.
Absolutely.
He just needs some help?
He needs some help.
See, I got some people that will help him out.
Yeah, see that?
I got some people that help him on out. Shit, because I can tell you right now, I won't be throwing no rock at no window talking about calling for my daughter. Guess what? We remember the batter round back in the day. You remember the batter round? You know when the police came through and they pull off the door off doors off and they roll on it. We would have been rolling on up in there. We would have been rolling on up in there. Seriously, we need a welfare check and all this other kind of stuff. We to check the well-being of my child and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
R. Kelly is not untouchable. The folks made him untouchable. Absolutely. They put the wall. They didn't build the wall for Trump, hell, but they built the damn wall for him. Because they put a wall around here where they could not penetrate. Okay, they played the game. Okay, even after that, he went to trial. The parents wouldn't testify. The little girl wouldn't testify. Okay, they drugged the trial out for 6 years. Did nobody care? Did you really care? Did we sit up and watch this video and laugh? He pissing on somebody. Everybody laughed. Didn't nobody care about her being 14 years old because it wasn't your 14-year-old daughter. Well, we got to call her. Go ahead, call her. Hung up. Okay, they'll be calling back.
One thing I want to just piggyback on what you said. We even now with this situation going on, if you view Facebook and things like that, you see different type of comical comments about this situation that has went down, whether it's referred to Bill Cosby's situation or whatever the case might be. But what I'm saying is we got to stop mixing humor with pain and mixing humor with sorrow. And a lot of times these things go on, and what we try to do is we try to put some humor in the place of it and try to ignore it. And what I'm saying is, if we are coverings in our house, men are protectors, straight up. We're supposed to be protectors. So and we got to stop deferring as men being protectors in the house. But let's say if it's not a man in the house, a woman, she's going to be a covering over a family. We just got to stop deferring when it comes to protecting and when it comes to being honest with each other and straight up with each other. Everybody turning their back on what we need to be straight up about.
Let me say this. Coming from African American women and back to the days of the masters, I think that spirit is instilled in us to cover up. We've been raped, okay, and molested for a long, long time, okay? And it was made to be okay, and you were made to be silent, okay? So all we're doing is taking what's been done to us for over so many years, okay? And we're doing it to ourselves, okay? And we're accustomed to, again, when we want to go back to our community, we put shit up under the rug. Okay, because it's all we can't stand with each other. We go out here and gang bang and kill each other. Okay, so now we raping each other, molesting each other. That's okay to put that shit up under the rug and throw me that couple of thousand over here. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? This is what's happening, the mentality. We don't care about our own community, and we need to start. Now, we're going to cover up some bullshit. We're going to cover up a pedophile. We're going to cover that up and because he's paying, because everybody's eating off of him. See, one thing for sure is, let me tell you something about this. Being a boss and feeding everybody, you get all that different kind of respect. When you ain't got the money to feed nobody, ain't nobody trying to be with you. Ain't nobody working for free. So long as I'm eating and you feeding me, whatever you do is okay. And that's just real talk. Whether it's you molesting somebody or you doing whatever, just pay me, run me my money. Because nobody has any integrity. Nobody stands for shit. You know? So like I said, we laughed at that tape because it wasn't our 14-year-old daughter.
I never even watched the tape. And I definitely didn't laugh at the tape. Well,
the thing about it, it was passed around. Just like everything, you can do a sex tape. You had a sex tape of, what's that boy's name? Ray J. And what's the other girl that's, what's her name? Kardashian.
Right.
Everybody seen her. She got booty. This turned up. Oh, he hit that. Oh, we went around looking at it. And it's the same mentality they did because R. Kelly out here pissing on somebody. And so everybody, folks probably start pissing. So you want to get pissed on? You want to get pissed on? You get a piss. You get a piss.
So what actually has to change then?
Sheesh.
Our mentality has to change. Our language has to change. Some of the things that we entertain, that we consider entertaining, is very unattractive.
Go ahead, caller.
Hey. This R. Kelly thing we own.
Okay.
I'm going to blame a lot of those parents, too.
Okay.
Because the simple fact is you don't drop your kid off at a house and not go inside and see what's going on.
Okay.
Another thing, this thing they got with this TV show, this TV show thing with the parents on it looking for their kids and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I don't know if y'all seen Master P. Master P said the same thing I would say.
Yep.
I'm not going on no damn TV for to try to do this thing here because that TV stuff is fake. A real father and his daughter is trapped in somebody's house. He's taking that house down.
Thank you.
That house going down. And everybody that come out that house is going down too. Everybody that worked for R. Kelly, they need their asses in jail just like he needs to be in jail.
You're absolutely right.
Now, there's a father that said
money
he was threatened.
But
they called him and threatened him.
When it comes to a life and a kid, those little girls are somebody's babies.
Absolutely.
It's not that much money in the world that'll make a person want to see a child be abused and raped and molested and treated like a slave.
So do you think that particular father that's on the show, and I believe that's the girl Savage's father, that he has not done everything within his means and in his power to the point that they've called and threatened him, to the point that he was on the phone and the police was sitting there and the matter, because Kelly got everybody doing his dirty work. You know what I'm saying? One thing for sure is he act like he can't be touched. I'm trying to tell you, everybody can be reached out and touched on, unless you President Trump and you Secret Service has got your back. But you can be reached out and touched. But this guy said that he was threatened. So I mean, we can all say, well, we're gonna do this. And I hear Master P. I feel him on that level too, because I probably would have been on a different level too. But it still don't mean we would have been able to get in.
It's like, I'll be damned if I'm gonna stand outside a building and somebody got my child and they're throwing a fucking rock at the damn, excuse my French, throwing a rock at the damn window.
So what would you do?
Go down and I'm going up in there and find something out, because it don't make no sense that this man can get away with this after a videotape has been shown years ago.
Absolutely.
And Sparkle said that she think her brother and her sister-in-law got paid off. That's why they didn't go to court and testify against R. Kelly.
This is a question I have for everybody out there.
He's trying to blame his brother for the situation.
Right. I have a question for everybody out there. I want you guys to think about this.
We can go get Bill Cosby for 50 years or something that went on 50 years ago for grown women, to now today we got kids that were there. We can't get R. Kelly.
Okay, listen to this. I want to my question to everyone out there, and we want some people to call in and tell me what you think about this. If this was happening to some Caucasian girls, would this have gone this long? Would this have gotten this far if the girls were not African American?
Well, maybe they should have went about. Maybe we should go about it differently at times.
If there was one white girl on that videotape would have shut this whole damn thing. R. Kelly wouldn't be able to fly.
Well, maybe when
he wouldn't be able to confess.
Hey, I hear you. Check this out. Maybe when
he wouldn't be able to say he turned his life over to God. He wouldn't be able to say none of that because no white people would shut that down. But like they say, they're saying black lives do matter, but it don't matter to the white person. Excuse my French. I don't mean to disrespect nobody, but it don't matter to them. But if it was one of their own, they would have got just like the little girl. I don't know if y'all heard the little girl that did 15 years in jail.
Yeah.
Went to jail at 16 because the man that was molesting her and beating her, she killed him.
He was her pimp.
And they tried her as an adult. But Kim Kardashian been doing this thing where she's been helping a lot of these prison women get out. That was wasn't justified that they did what they did. The 16-year-old girl, gets out in August after doing 14 to 15 years from 16 to now.
Okay.
For killing the guy that was raping and molesting her.
Okay.
Hey.
So, go ahead. I'm going to go ahead, Derek.
Well, you don't have to be say excuse me about telling the truth. You're right. We have no favor in this country with white people. So my suggestion now is when a situation go down like that, any type of crime or anything, you want the police to get there, you say that a white girl is in there. You call and say, R. Kelly got a white girl in there right now. I bet the police will be there. You saying that they don't come when you calling about black folks, right? So you got to use your side. You got to use a mindset. Your mindset has to change, and you got to make them come. You got to make them get there.
Now, they called the police, and the police did come, but the bottom line is there's nothing they could do. Okay, they called for a welfare check. It was called a welfare check. I want to check to make sure. Plus, on top of that, you guys have to realize, too, these girls now are of age. Okay, so they're of age, so you can't do anything about a of age young lady. Now, if you had a 14-year-old in there, then that's a different story. But no, but girl, they're not 14 and 15 anymore. They're 18 to 21. They're older.
The justice system still has to look at. He's had those kids. He had those adults since they were kids.
He had them since they were kids, but guess what? Now we're dealing with adults, and we're trying to get adults out. So that has no play here.
Okay.
So
say we can't get the kids out. I mean, the adults out now. We can't get them out.
You can't get the adults out.
We still get R. Kelly for child molestation. Because if you can go that far,
you can
back
try.
50-something years on Bill Cosby,
you can try.
You can go that far back on R. Kelly's little pedophile ass.
You can try. You can try. You can try. You know what? They can try.
They shutting all this
a lot of time, a lot of things that R. Kelly did.
They really got the case going now. Since this TV show aired, they got a case going now against R. Kelly now. So now we're gonna see what it's gonna do now.
That's because people are in an uproar.
Sitting there with Bill Cosby.
That's because people are in an uproar. That's because now you have stars saying stuff. You got people that's on the show. People are actually going against it. Now you have people willing to take his music off of the radio. So you have all those things that are taking place. So now people, but like they said, what you say, you said his money got. You said they was buying more of his music now. It didn't go down. They started. It actually went up. Yeah, okay. So again, thank you for calling.
Well, I don't hold you. I'm letting somebody know some more callers want to call. Y'all take it easy.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Again, our number is 310. Bye. Our number is 310-946-3110. Again, that number is 310-946-3110. We're talking about R. Kelly. How do you feel about R. Kelly? Do you think it's gone too long? Do you think we should do anything about it now? We didn't worry about it then. Why are we worrying about it now? Now these young ladies are adults. Okay, you even had one young lady that got with him when she was 33 years old. And she said when she saw the tape that her friend, now see, again, dumb stuff, but we don't be in love. They infatuated. They infatuated that it's R. Kelly, and they figure everybody figures I'm gonna get a little bit of the money. But what comes with that money is power. Okay, and what comes with that power is you bow down. You bow down when you come to my town. He had everybody bowing down, and this brother got so big where he felt he's gonna have a cult, and everybody's gonna come and stay at the house, and you go get a friend and bring one in, and all of that. He went way too far. But I want him to go ahead and send him on up there to the prison yard.
Yeah.
He can bow down up in there. He can get all that he's looking for. Yeah. Ain't gonna be nothing wrong with a little bump and grind, R. Kelly. Ain't gonna be nothing wrong with it.
Don't need his zooms and wham-whams, that's for sure.
Ain't gonna be nothing wrong with a little bump and grind, R. Kelly, for sure. So again, our number is 310-946-3110. If you have something you want to say about the situation with R. Kelly, if you're feeling some kind of way about it, if you're feeling like, you know what, that I'm still a fan of R. Kelly, like many still are, and he just needs some medical help. I'm just not, like DJ Ron said, get the man. You said get the man some help, DJ Ron.
Yep, get him some help.
Okay, what kind of help you think he need?
He need a lot of help. He need to be in there locked up.
Yeah, but I think, but I think if somebody, I know something, they can help him out. Betty won't do it again. They got something for him. They got something for pedophiles. Oh yeah. Yes, they do. They got something for him, and I bet, then he won't do it again. They can castrate him. You think that'll take the desire away?
No.
They said he's had a concert. They were saying, people were saying, kidnap me or something.
See how ignorant that is? See, this society, this culture that I'm talking about. This culture is out of control. People actually run towards demonistic shit.
Absolutely.
Really? All right, caller, go ahead. Hello?
Hello? Hi.
Hi.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I said, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So I just want to talk about what you guys are talking about right now, which is the R. Kelly thing.
Okay.
I think everybody should be prosecuted for it because the people that are around him, the people that were there and knew that it was going on and didn't stop it, his wife, all of them. And if you really think about it, Lifetime is getting paid for everybody watching it. So they should be prosecuted as well.
Okay, so right now, basically what you're saying is, okay, everybody that interviewed, okay, everybody that's on there now want to tell the story actually was a part of the molestation of others as far as bringing others in, accepting it, and being a part of it, right? So now you want to get out here and tell about it. So actually what that's going to do, to be honest with you, that means there will be no convictions. There will be nothing, because it's like, now you want, why are you telling it now? You're actually a part of it. So if we're gonna put some charges, we should probably put some charges against you too. Just like the young lady that said she had sex with the 14-year-old and she didn't know she was 14-year-old. She didn't know she was 14 years old. Now you on Lifetime telling your story, so you're a predator as well. Okay? She wasn't your age.
But think about this, Stormy. When you 14 years old, just think about when you 14 and you see this dude that you really want to be with, and this dude want to be with you. So it don't matter who is around or who else is around, but if I can get in, I'm going to go in. That's how 14, 15-year-olds think. And even more than now, they're thinking that way. If they can go and be with R. Kelly, they don't care about the consequences. I mean, it's a similarity to how pimps and prostitutes are. So like they were saying, sometimes some of the young ladies' minds may have been a little weak. That's why they went in and they were, caught up in that situation. So
it sounds like all of them were weak. What I was talking about is the young lady that had actually made it of age. Okay, if you remember the girl that was on the tape with R. Kelly, the tape where R. Kelly, he had several tapes, but the one tape that stood out was the tape that the young lady said where R. Kelly peed on the 14-year-old. The girl that was in the tape with R. Kelly having sex with the 14-year-old was not, she was of age.
Okay.
And she was
I'm like the other gentleman. I didn't see the tape, so because I just didn't want to see it. But and then I'm thinking about what they said as well. If you're a dad and that's your daughter, you're gonna do everything in your power to go in and get your daughter out. You know how these kids are these days. I'm going. I don't care if you don't want me to go. I mean, most of these households, these teenagers are running their parents, and they're telling them, if you don't let me do it, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to run away. So I'm thinking from watching just two other shows, because I didn't even want my vote to count on that.
That's good.
That they allowed that, and now since this big thing is out, they want to be on TV. Like they say, it's a reality TV. They want to be on TV. Their daughter may be in there, but they don't want to be in there, because if you see that other young lady who cut her hair off and everything, her mother went in and her mother pulled her out. but they ain't said nothing else about her. She ain't came back out and said anything yet. So what's going on with that?
You talking about the young lady where R. Kelly pretty much turned her into looking like a boy?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. The one, yeah, because she's of age now, and when she left. She was of age. What happened with her? Because I saw that story on that one. She had started seeing R. Kelly. One of her friends actually got her involved in it, and then she went and got her daughter. She did, and then she let her daughter work and do all this other stuff. But the daughter came home and told her, "I'm still seeing R. Kelly." So she played it cool until she was of age, and she said, "R. Kelly wants me to move to Atlanta, and I'm moving with him." And it was nothing the mother could do. It was nothing she could do.
And I'm going to say this last thing, and I'm going to go, but the show is great. I'm really enjoying you guys tonight. I also think that R. Kelly and his brother needs help. I mean, yes, he needs to be put back on the stand again, but they need to really evaluate them because there's something really wrong with him and his brother if that's truly going on in his camp. And the people that are around him, we don't know how many of them that it is. If they are sitting there watching that, it's truly something wrong with them as well. Because I don't care who you are, if we in a circle and you see something like this going on, eventually it's going to affect you and you're going to tell somebody. You mean to tell me
they're telling it now.
20 men around him and nobody is saying nothing?
No, they're actually trying to get girls in and
the money.
Girl.
Okay, but still something has to be going on in their heart. You know,
you would think
if you leave your job every day and you know that this girl's being molested, abused, and beaten, as they say, something has to affect you some kind of way.
I think that what happens is that you surround people of your own kind, honey. You surround yourself with your own kind. One thing for sure is what I'm not going to do is surround myself by somebody that's not that wants to be involved what I'm involved with. Okay, if you have people that it's all about the money and it's all about the Benjamins and they don't care what you're doing, I'm gonna ride with you because I feel like you all of that in a bag of chips and I can't think for my damn self, then that's what you're gonna have. So you have a bunch of followers. Okay, if you have people of integrity wouldn't have dealt with that. So the people that were there had no integrity. So they were people of his own. They were people. Those was his peers. Okay, so because they was down for it. That's how I see it. They were down for it. Those were his peers. People with integrity and had some feelings or some heart or whatever would not have dealt with that. One thing for sure is if they didn't tell, guess what? They wouldn't stay employed there that long because they wouldn't have been able to live with themselves. So now these people want to come out all these years later and talk and tell about it because you know what? They might end up on the stand anyway. So I don't know. I think nobody had any integrity that was involved in this camp. And the little young ladies that were singing and, you know, everybody was caught up. Everybody was mesmerized by it being R. Kelly and the money and the power and the so-called prestige.
Value systems just have to change, you know, with us as people. You know, a lot of times we value the very things that creates the type of situation we're talking about today instead of valuing, like you say, principle and integrity and really stepping up in the game.
Another call. Thank you, Carter. We're going to take another call. Thank you for calling.
Thank you. You guys.
You know, hey, Carter, how you doing?
Hey.
Hey. How you doing?
So, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Before you say anything, I'm going to say this last thing. You know, that's just like women dating. You know, if they got money, you know, I'm not saying all women. I'm just saying some. You know, you rocking with the money. He can be ugly as all outdoors. You know, ugly man couldn't get no date till the ballers came out. You was a baller, you had some change, then we was rocking with you. So just threw that out there anyway. Go ahead, Carter. How you doing?
That's the value.
I'm good. Well, I just want to touch on the whole. I watched docu-series about 3 or 4 times during the whole time that it showed.
Okay.
And my issue stems more so from, one, we're going to talk about the parents and they lack of accountability for their kids. You want to point the fingers, but even if you heard stories, there's no way in the world I'm going to let somebody watch my child.
Right.
Even like with Sparkle, she said she took her niece with her. Her sister dropped her off to R. Kelly by herself.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
at what point, I mean, yes, R. Kelly's a man and he knew what he was doing, but at what point do we start holding these adults accountable for their actions as well?
Now, what do you feel about the young lady that her sister went with her Okay? You remember the parents that would not let her daughter go anywhere unless somebody was with it. Now, her sister went. Now, remember, something went down and the sister never told it?
Right. Her sister also was of age. She should be held accountable for leaving a minor in the care of somebody else.
Okay.
You have to start holding these people accountable for their actions. You can't point the blame because something bad happened to your child. It's a result of your actions.
Okay.
Whether it was a result of relaxed parenting, bad parenting. I was 14 years old when that video came out. There's no way in the world that anything like that would have happened.
Absolutely.
I can tell you that I went to see R. Kelly. Well, not deliberately, but I was snatched without the concert by one of my family members.
Oh.
It always starts in the home, though, young lady. I agree totally with what you're talking about, and that's why I said sometimes, we just have to be bigger. And like Stormy said, we're better together than apart. So a lot of times we're so divided in just various things that occur in our lives and in our families to where we're not really on top of what we should be doing. But I agree, never should you allow your children to go into any adult setting, regardless to whether it's a popular one or regardless to whether it's just a neighbor next door, without some type of supervision, without some type of structure and knowing exactly what's going on.
I think everybody got blindsided. You blindsided behind R. Kelly.
I don't think anybody was blindsided because even if there was, it's just like the family member when you be like, "Oh, don't leave your kids with that person." You know why?
Right.
Well, when I say blindsided, I mean this. When I say blindsided, I mean blindsided because it was R. Kelly. They put their blinders up. Blindsided because they saw dollars. Okay, this lady, they had some situations where the mother and father got up and ran, and they didn't hear from their daughter for she didn't hear the daughter for several days. And so basically what they did, the husband and her got on a plane and flew out, okay? And then R. Kelly went on and said, well, everything's okay. And so they started having contact with their daughter. It was okay for her to still go. Right then, that panic that you were panic-stricken, when you become panic-stricken and you get to your child, then I think right then and there, it should have never been okay. That was the first warning. Okay, that was the first warning that this is not for her and come on back. But again, blindsided meaning, R. Kelly, blindsided meaning that they looking at their daughter having a future as far as being in music. They looking at the future of being able to make money. And all people think is a bunch of money.
R. Kelly really seen? How many people have you seen come out from underneath him and been like, yes, he put me where I'm at right now?
You know what, to be honest with you, I've never followed R. Kelly, and it probably hasn't been many other than Aaliyah. You know what I'm saying? I don't really know. But when again, people don't think. All we see is what could be.
R. Kelly's a musical genius, so there has been some people that he's put out there.
His wife. She's locked up for forever many years and didn't know nothing about it. You pregnant, you turn a blind eye to everything. You don't question nothing.
Let's talk about him going to the middle schools.
Bringing your children
looking for sisters at the middle school, just going to the schools.
So again, so with her, from a little, because
I know you saw the video where she was online playing his music, talking about
her baby daddy.
My baby daddy,
Wow.
Again, you know what? I also saw her crying, talking about her babies, and she had a baby by herself. I saw a lot of things, but like I said, because my son, he said, you need to see this video with her on there talking about playing the music. That's my baby's, daddy or whatever the case may be. She did say she basically was not acting like she wasn't aware. She wasn't really aware until he got arrested. Something, and she was pregnant. She got arrested. But again, something was wrong when he separated her from her family. She had no contact with her family. Okay. Her whole life changed. Okay. But again, we accepted this. Why? We as women, a lot of times, just to have a man, just to be involved, we do a lot of things. Okay. So there's some issues that we deal with within ourselves coming up from childhood. Seriously, whatever our insecurities may be. Okay, it takes us going through some things in us to evolve as strong women, or to experience some hurt, or experience some shame and some pain in order to grow us into being strong women and saying the things that we would not do. Okay, as young girls, you can see this woman was abused mentally, okay, and then she was separated from her family, and then she accepted that. So again, why? all of them need some type of counseling. Okay, we examine ourselves in relationships that we've been involved in, starting when you started in relationships. It's a lot of things that you've done that you would not have necessarily do now, but you look back and say, why did I do that? Why would I allow this man to treat me this way? It starts off just not with R. Kelly, but just in basic relationships. Okay, because we don't know how to be in basic relationships. We lack a lot of information and a lot of training as women in dealing in relationships. No one comes and teaches you, this is what you're supposed to do when you get in a relationship. This is how this goes. You know, we need more training, period, because based on, if we do it on our own and we really deal on emotion. We are emotional creatures, okay? And one thing for sure is we go through a lot of pain, and then we can say, oh, this is what I wouldn't do. And then when we start raising daughters, we hopefully will instill some things into them so that they wouldn't have to go through that. You know, a lot of us suffer from self-esteem issues, color issues, hair issues. We have a lot of things as women that we deal with, so we allow people to do certain things to us that's okay because we just looking for the love. So
right, but okay, but then also going back and touching back on what you said about them all coming out now for the Lifetime story.
Mm-hmm.
The girl, what's her name? The one she was of age.
Okay, the one that was 33 years that actually worked with the radio station.
No. The one that slept with the 14-year-old that was on the video.
Oh yeah, her, right? Yep.
Okay, so I've been looking into her, and she had zero social media prior to this happening. Now, all of a sudden, because she did an interview with the Breakfast Club the other day, and she was talking about how she's never had therapy. She was just able to just bounce back, and now she's trying to be, like, she's out here now promoting her own business versus, you know, like, this is what I do. I'm an advocate for this. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, you a racist just like the rest of them. So how do I separate you from the next person?
Exactly. How do you? How do you? How do you do that? Everybody's going on Stockholm syndrome, meaning that they have become in love with their perpetrator, right? And that perpetrator can do no harm. So everybody wants to go on. I had Stockholm's. Okay, so if that's the case, then you should be in therapy for real. And you can be an advocate. You know, I understand you can probably try to teach someone the things they shouldn't do, but for sure you need some counseling. You don't bounce back, because one thing for sure is if you bounced back, you bounced in there with something that you was going through as a child, because you had no integrity on allowing, you know, in the first place, because if you did, you wouldn't have been involved with R. Kelly, you know, like that at all. So all of them got issues.
Are these women lacking fathers and
I don't know if they lacking. I don't know if they lacking fathers. I mean, you can have a father and you got the one girl that grew up with her father and her mother, and they said it was a close family. You know what I'm saying? Some of them might be, but at the end of the day, it doesn't mean that if you have a father in the home that's not gonna happen.
Never said that.
No, I'm not saying that you did. I'm just saying that, you know, did they not have fathers? Did they not have this? What they had was some hot tails.
That's some hot tails, but the fathers and the mothers.
I gotta lighten it up a little bit, because you know this getting a little whoa.
Fathers and mothers got to pick up on them light tails and nurture and talk and communicate and constantly, you know, relate to them. You know, if you see that in your daughter and you see that type of, you know, character, you got to be talking to them at all times.
Okay, caller, thank you. We're going to take another call. Thank you for calling in. Appreciate you. Go ahead, caller.
Stormy.
Hey.
Great show, as usual.
Thank you, girl. What's up?
Okay, I have to say this.
Say it, girl.
We've been hearing the R. Kelly story for a long time.
Okay.
Being from Chicago and Illinois, I've been hearing about him going to the high school and doing all that stuff since I was in high school.
Girl.
Okay, so this has been going on a long time. I banned myself from him and his music.
Okay.
As good as it is, it doesn't matter, because I have a heart for Chicago in particular and for us.
Okay.
But one thing that I do see is a lot of the deeper issues going on with everything that you've been talking about tonight. And you touched on it at one point about just us as a community and as a society. A lot of this stuff that we're doing, we learn from our oppressors. Okay?
Okay.
I'm going to talk about the men for a minute, and I'm not trying to dog out black men at all. But I'm going to talk about what I'm observing and what I'm living from fathers on down. Mm-hmm. You learn this stuff from your oppressors, and then you pass it down to us.
Okay.
we all know how Black people started in this country a long time ago, how we actually got here, and what our position was in this country a long time ago. There was a lot of stuff that we didn't have access to. Now that we have access to it, people want to just do it. And what did Malcolm X say about the Beyonce had it on one of her videos? What was it? The Black woman is the most unprotected, disrespected person in America.
Okay, I believe that.
So here we go again with our own brothers learning that from wherever it came from, and now they're using it on us.
What's your name,
all
sister?
The way back to Shine On.
I agree. We have stopped protecting our women. We have deferred completely from being a covering over them. And I'm with you 200%. I mean, none of these things could be happening if we wasn't present and really, really being more positive about our sisters. We nothing without them, to be honest with you.
Say it again, because we take the brunt of so many things. We nurture, we take care, we hold down. We're the salt of the earth, right? Mothers of the earth. Mm-hmm. We even saw our ancestors who were breastfeeding young, white children in slavery.